So Commonwealths, after that, New Balance signed, pro contract, that's the job. What does being a pro athlete in an athletic setting look like? Because I don't think people even I don't really understand. Sport to sport is very different. If you're a pro in a rugby club, you've got this support system, you've got this, you've got that. Whereas in pro athletics, generally, these other sports, well, golf, I can imagine is quite similar, where you are absorbed by a brand, and then each athlete's experience with that brand and how they're supported is very, very different. I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
So what did it look like for you becoming a pro with New Balance versus before? Did your life become a lot easier? You could focus on training. The finances were all looked after. They're not the most lucrative contracts in the world, I don't think, to start with, but they allow you to train, which means that you can then climb the ladder. So what did that round one of pro contract life look like?
The contract wasn't like too good. It enabled me to like train full time, which is all that's the opportunity I wanted. What we got built into our contracts and what I have now with Puma as well is your bonuses in the bonus contract and rollovers, basically. So any bonus you hit gets rolled over, and that will get put onto your base salary for the next year. So that's very, very crucial. A lot of as far as I'm aware, I know certain athletes do not have that contract. I've always had that put into mine, which it enables you to, I'm not saying sign a lower contract, but like you can almost back yourself. You can take something, you can maybe take a lower contract, but back yourself. Like, I know I'm going to hit these performance bonuses. I know I'm going to run these times, and you in effect get paid twice. You'll get paid your bonus, and then for the year after, the base will also be.
And you retain that.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, wow.
So I think that's very crucial. Obviously, if you win medals and stuff, World Olympic medals, it really is life changing. Not just financially, but for obvious reasons.
Yeah. But a lot of that still is what you do with it next, not just your job done.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You have to you got to be smart. You have to have other things going on in your life, because it's not a sport where you can, unless you're Usain Bolt, who was pulling in, I think he pulled in like 35 mil in 2016, his Olympic year in 2016. His Puma contract alone was like 10, 11 million a year base salary. But he deserves every penny, you know?
Yeah.
Most people will not be able to retire and do nothing for the rest of their life. Not that you want to do that anyway, but it doesn't give you that sort of, it is getting more lucrative now, because I think a lot of athletes are speaking up, and we work so hard. And I'm not saying we should be on footballers' salaries, because it's just how the sport's marketed, but there is those comparisons drawn. So I think brands and athletes are standing a bit stronger now, and brands are starting to realize we can't just offer shit contracts, because it's not right. And that is changing. I've always been very lucky, because I've had a few other private sponsors as well, and I've always went out of my way to source other sponsorship. Puma was great for me, because I was able to get a deal with a company called Cost Plus, who have looked after me for years. But the guy called Joe Perryman, who I've got a very close relationship with, we're able to get his logo on my kit as well. So that things like that. Other brands won't do that. Puma allowed it, which was big.